How do you generate leads from LinkedIn? If you're posting content on LinkedIn regularly, how do you turn that content into paying clients, into customers, into leads? Well, this is one of the frustrations that I hear from clients and prospects who come to me and understand the value of building their personal brand, but then they're posting content, they're posting content, they're posting content, and they're not generating any leads. They get frustrated, and then they come to me and tell me, well, the personal branding efforts are not working. And I try to coach them on the fact that there is a method to the madness. There is a process you have to follow in order to turn your content into paying clients. And that is the topic of today's podcast. Hello, I'm Kwame Kwade. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Brand, the podcast about entrepreneurship, personal branding, and success mindset. So let's jump into today's topic. So, how do you go from content to leads? Well, it's a simple methodology. First, you have to create content that grabs attention. So, when we start working together on your personal brand, on your content, the first thing I want to ensure is that your content is meeting the needs and grabbing the attention of the right people. So, are you creating the kind of content that people want to watch? How do you do that? Well, there's a simple formula here. You have to first understand the pain points of your audience. What are their frustrations? What keeps them up at night? What are their desires for themselves, their business, their future? What future state do they want to be in? And you want to present yourself as the solution to all those questions. So once you write all those questions down, your goal is to create content that solves those problems, because the purpose of creating personal brand is to become top of mind, is to be seen as the expert and authority in your niche, so that when those people are ready to buy, you are the first person they're going to think about. And you do that by creating content that makes them feel seen, heard, understood, like you get them, that you understand them, that you have the solution to the problems that you're facing. And so the first step to going from content to leads is to create content that solves the problems of your ideal audience, so that they can trust you, so that they can become familiar with you and your knowledge and your expertise, so that they, build a connection with you. And ideally, you're doing that with video content. If you're not creating video content in 2024, 2025, you're going to be left behind, because it's that simple. Video is where the attention is, video is where the eyeballs are. So ideally, you're creating video content about stuff that your audience wants to listen to, wants to watch, and solves the problem that they're facing. So that's step one. Step two step two of going from content to leads is to then create a lead magnet. All social media is rented space. So at some point, you have to bring the conversation to space that there's no intermediary between you and your audience. And there is nothing better to do that, even in 2024, 2025, than a newsletter. And to get people to give you their email, there has to be a fair exchange. You have to offer them something that makes them more likely to give you their email. And that is what a lead magnet is. So, how can you craft a lead magnet that will convince people to give you their email? Well, it has to solve one pain point. You don't have to give the entire farm away. You just have to pick one problem that you know is common amongst your audience. It's a nagging issue that everybody has, and you create a lead magnet that solves that one problem. Because think about it. If you can give them something for free that solves the pain point that they're having, a frustration that they have, it builds trust. And if the lead magnet is very good, and here's my this is what I tell clients always. When you create a lead magnet, make it so good that people are like, wow, if the free stuff is this good, I wonder what the paid stuff looks like. So you want to create a lead magnet that solves one problem, but solves it very well, solves it better than everybody, solves it better than anybody, is the best on the market. Like, over deliver on the lead magnet. And then that builds trust. And then now they're looking forward to your newsletter. They trust you. They know you'll have the solution to their problem. They know you're the expert and authority in the space. And they're more likely to then move from becoming a consumer of your content to somebody that is interested in knowing more and working with you. So, content that solves a problem, a lead magnet that gives you access to their email. And then the third thing is then delivering regularly on that newsletter. And so, with a newsletter, you have to make a promise. How often can I hear from you, and what are you going to be talking about? So, in my newsletter that I have a Substack newsletter. It's called, you know, Build Your Own Stage.co. And on that newsletter, all I'm trying to do is two things. There is Fridays, what I call the 3 tips Friday. Every Friday, I provide 3 personal branding tips. Very short, easy to read. And then on Tuesdays, I provide what I call the deep dive. I take one topic and give you actionable tips that you can implement in your business, in your personal brand right now. So I'm releasing 2 newsletters every week, and they know when to expect it. They know what each is about. That's your job, is to figure out what can you do, and regularly when it comes to a newsletter, how much value can you provide, and how regular can it be? Do what works for you. But whatever it is, pick a schedule and stick with it. And so I do 2 a week. And here's the most important part. At the bottom of your newsletter, you can tell them how you can help them. You can promote your product or services. Because if you're giving them all this content and at the bottom is just a summary of some of the help that you provide, people are going to see that, yeah, they're going to ignore it. But when they need it, they know it's there. So, and then occasionally you can actually really promote your product or services. So I look at like an 80-20 rule, give 8 times and then ask 2 times. Or Gary Vee will say, give 10 times and ask 1 time. Whatever the rule is, the purpose is that you're giving value, 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 and then you ask. And when you ask, people are more likely to receive and reciprocate because they've been getting so much value from you that they feel like they have to reciprocate. They feel like you've given a lot to them and they also want to give to you. That's just how it works. So, step 1 again, content that solves problems. Step 2, a lead magnet, and then a lead magnet that oversolves a problem. And then step 3 is a newsletter cadence that people can come to expect and what kind of value they can expect from you on a regular basis. And then step 4 is your product. So during all of this, you get your newsletter and then you're using newsletter to promote your product. So you go from content to leads by following these steps. And the soft selling in your newsletter is how you get people to buy. Because now you've brought the conversation to your space. There is no intermediary between you. It's not the algorithm that is telling them what they can watch and what they cannot. It's not the algorithm that's limiting how much of your content they can watch. This is you and them. And so spend time building your list, and you will be happy you did, because that becomes an asset that not only can you keep forever, but it eliminates the middle person or the gatekeeper and puts you directly in front of your customers, your prospects, and you can have a one-on-one conversation with them and provide value to them. And then when you ask, when you share your products, when you show them how you can help, they may even come to you and want to know how you can help them because you've been providing them so much value. So I hope this answers a quick question for you. If you are new to this podcast, please subscribe. As I said, it is about personal branding, entrepreneurship, and success mindset. So until the next episode,